Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sneha, I'm a freelance makeup artist based in London, and today we're going to talk about the newest launch from Lisa Eldridge, which is her Pinpoint concealers. So if you've been looking for a solution to target your pigmentation, redness, discoloration, acne, scarring, any of those with Pinpoint concealing, then stay tuned. I will show you exactly how these pencils work and if they're actually worth it. So yesterday in London, Lisa had a special invite for Emerald tier Lisa and Me members, I guess, from her website. So I had the invitation to go and see the launch for the Pinpoint concealer pencils. I remember back in the day, Lisa Eldridge was the first to introduce the concept of pinpoint concealing to the world, including me, way back. I think it was over a decade ago. And it was perfect for me at that point because I was living in the US all alone, doing my PhD. It was a very stressful time of my life. My skin was breaking out. And that's how I came across Lisa's video to try and camouflage or conceal my acne and acne scarring back then. So much so that it introduced me into the world of makeup. And now I'm a full-time freelance makeup artist. I've given up the career of being a genetic scientist and switched over to being a freelance makeup artist. So that just goes on to show you the impact Lisa Eldridge has had on my life, and I'm sure countless others. So this launch of the Pinpoint concealers has been long overdue, and I don't think anybody could have done a better job than Lisa Eldridge and her team. I'm going to insert a little clip here. This is where the event was. I got to meet Lisa Eldridge again, I think for the third or the fourth time. I can't remember now. We were offered coffee and cookies. We did play a little game where we could win different products. I also got a free mascara. You could choose between mascara and balms, lip balms. So I chose the mascara, which I'm going to do a separate video on, and I also won a lip gloss. So coming back to the concealers, I'll do a separate close-up video of the packaging so you can have a better look at it. So the pencils launch in 16 shades. They cover varying undertones. So you can go from rosy, neutral, golden, neutral golden, red, and peachy undertones. So there's something for everyone. And also on her website, you can see a lovely matrix giving you guides for these pencils against her existing skin tints and foundations. I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. Now each of these pencils retails for £27 and you get 0.05 grams of product in here. If you're a pro artist, definitely take advantage of their pro artist discount program, and I think you get 30% off. So I wear shade 10 in her skin tint and shade 17 in her foundation, so these were the shades that I was recommended, and the shades I ended up picking was 7, 9 and 10. So Clara was the makeup artist that helped me pick my shades, and she picked 9 and 10 for me. 9 to go over as a concealer all over when I had skin tint or a foundation on, and 10 as a color corrector, and these work absolutely beautiful. And 7 is a shade that I picked up in addition just because most days I don't wear a skin tint or a foundation, especially if I'm out to walk Cooper, run errands. I don't wear a base, so I just put on concealer for spot concealing and then go out the door. So 7 is perfect for that, as you'll see in the demo later. So shades 7 and 9 have a neutral undertone. Shade 10, I believe, has a neutral golden undertone. So it has that extra warmth to neutralize any discoloration. In terms of the packaging, it is perfection, I think. So it's twist up pencils with a sharpener on the other end. So you can always keep the sharp end, especially if you want to get really precise concealing. And again, the pencil does twist up. The tip is 1.5 millimeter thick, so again, great for pinpoint or precise concealing. The formula is a creamy gel texture that is easy to apply in thin layers and can be built up to the desired coverage, as I'll show in the demo. The formula is self-setting, which is brilliant, and has a soft matte finish. This is especially important, I think, if you have pitting on your skin from old acne scarring, and also for acne, because you don't want something that's highlighting concealer, if that makes sense, more radiant formula, because that's going to attract attention to that part of the skin, and you don't want that. So soft matte is perfect, especially for acne and acne scarring. The formula, I have no complaints. It gets 10 out of 10 from me. This is definitely going to replace, if not stay in addition to, the NARS soft matte concealers, which has been my holy grail for all these years. A great tip, especially if you're going into stores, is what I did: carry my existing soft matte concealers or any concealers that match well for you. That way it's easier to see which pencils match, if that makes sense, especially because the lighting in the store can be a little off, especially if you have gloomy weather like in London most days. To top all of this off, the formula is actually waterproof, which is so brilliant. And it's also been tested to stay put all day long. It's also vegan and cruelty free. And coming to the campaign, I think I absolutely love that. They actually chose models with, I don't want to say problematic skin, but basically models with skin concerns. And they actually showed how the product works, because the final images are completely unretouched. So you can actually see the product performing, if that makes sense, without any manipulation by the computer or the photographer, if that makes sense. That I think is absolutely brilliant. Let's now move on to swatches. In the store, I swatched shades 5 through 10. But again, the lighting is kind of a bit off, so some of the shades look quite similar. I'm also going to insert a clip where I'm going to swatch shades 7, 9, and 10 across the jawline on my face. Swatching shade 7, you can see it's closest to my bare skin. Shade 9. And lastly, shade 10, which is meant to be like a color corrector for me. So let's move on to the demo portion of the video, where I'm going to show you how I use these pinpoint concealers. So if this is just bare skin, all I've done is my brows and lips. So on one half of my face, I'm going to show you for days where I don't want to wear a base, so there'll be no skin, no foundation as a base. So we'll do that on this half. And on the right side of my face, I'm going to do a little bit of a skin tint, Lisa Eldridge one, and then we'll go in with the pinpoint concealers that way. So as I mentioned before, the 3 shades that I picked up are 7, 9, and 10. 10 is a shade for my skin tone anyway, as a color corrector, specifically for any discoloration around my mouth, especially at the corners of my mouth that you can see, hopefully. Number 9 is something that I plan to use on the periphery of my face, so anywhere I have a little bit more pigmentation, or on days where I do wear a base. So my skin tints and my foundations tend to be a little bit darker just because my skin is a little bit lighter than my neck. And shade number 7 is actually perfect for days that I don't want to wear any foundation, any base. It's just perfect to go over the acne scarring and camouflage them. So on this half, we'll start with shade number 7. That is what the pencil looks like. So this has a neutral undertone. So as you can see here, I do have pigmentation and old acne scarring right here. So shade number 7 is perfect to camouflage those. So all I do is, if it's a larger area, I'll just blend over. So say for example here, where I have a little bit more redness, all I'm going to do is do like a scribble motion like that. Go in with a brush, something small and dense like this. And I'm just going to blend that into the skin. And hopefully you can tell this side from the other side that it's reduced in terms of the redness around the nose. Same with anywhere else where it looks like I have a little bit of redness. Oops, the other end of the brush. So I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I have a little bit of pitting right here. So I'm going to just quickly go into those as well. And again, I'm going to use a dabbing motion. So on large areas like this, I can use a blending motion, but on anywhere I have acne or acne scarring, I'm going to do more of a patting motion. You can also do that with your fingers. A little bit of redness peeking through here, the scarring right there. You can see that shade number 7 is a perfect match for my skin, especially on days that I don't want to be wearing any foundation. And again, as I said, it was buildable, so I'm just going to even out the skin here, and then we'll layer exactly at that spot. Then moving on to the spots on the cheeks. Again, doing like a light layer just to reduce any redness. So this is like a first layer to even out the skin tone. You can tap with a brush or use your fingers. And then going back in to add a little bit more coverage just on the spots. So for me, I think it almost behaves like an eraser. So you're getting rid of anything you don't want to show on the skin. This is perfect for a no makeup look. Again, a little bit of redness on the chin. Typically, if you're wearing a base, that would take care of any of these minor discoloration redness. So as an everyday kind of a makeup look where I don't want to wear any base, I think this is where I would stop. So you can see that the skin has been evened out to a certain extent. The scarring has been pretty much eliminated, at least from what I could tell. What I'm going to do is also show you how I use it to color correct the discoloration around the eyes and also around the corners of my mouth. Next, I'm going in with shade number 10. That is to correct any discoloration around the corners of my mouth. So as you can see right there. So just going to add this anywhere I see a little bit of darkness and then blend it in with my fingers. So that did a great job at color correction, as you can see, hopefully from one corner to the other. Next, I'm going in with shade number 9, which will be used mostly to blend out this area just because the color corrector is right there. I'm just going to blend it out with the surrounding skin. Just applying that here. This is a great shade on me for lifting the corners of my mouth after color correction. So say I'm wearing a bold lip like a red, I can just go and cut through the edge to go back in with my lip liner just to even out the corners. So you've got a much sharper edge compared to this side. I'm also going to use this in the shadowy areas of my eye. So say I don't want to wear concealer under my eyes, just want to take care of the shadow right here. Blend it out in a second, and then this shadow right here. So you can see already before blending, it's made a big difference. Again, just going in with the brush or your fingers, just tap it in. You can go back and add if you want a little bit more coverage. But hopefully you can see the difference between the two under eyes. So what I'm going to quickly do is apply the Lisa Eldridge skin tint. I use the shade T10 on the right side of my face, and I'll be right back. So hopefully you can tell that I do have a light layer of skin tint on this half of my face. So you can see the difference. So as you can see, most of the skin tone has been evened out. What I can see is discoloration around my eyes, the pigmentation from the acne scarring, the pitting on the skin actually creating like a shadow almost. A little bit of pigmentation here. There is a live blemish here, so we'll get to that. There's a little patch of skin right here, which is pigmentation. And again, the corners of my mouth. So we'll deal with these. So at this stage, I'm not going to use shade number 7 just because that's going to be lighter for the foundation or the base skin tint. So I'm going to switch to shade 9 and 10. So again, using 10 for color correction. So let's start with the corners of my mouth. All right, there you go. Discoloration has disappeared. Next, I'm moving on to shade number 9. That's going to lift the outer corners of the mouth. There you go. Next, I'm going to use this around the shadowy areas of my eye. And on this side of my face, I don't know if you can tell on camera, I do have a vein that goes through right here, and I have discoloration at the outer corner. So I'm just going to address that with the same pencil. So that's taken care of that. And then this vein. So there you go, that's taken care of that. Build up anywhere you feel like you need more coverage. There you go. And then lastly, addressing the acne scarring. You can literally see the spots getting erased, hopefully on camera as well. Going to speed this up a little bit just so you don't have to sit through the whole thing. So there you go. So I'm going to quickly do is apply the skin tint on this half of my face just over the concealer, and I'll be right back. So I'm just going to set the entire face with powder. Just thought I'll show you that step. Sorry, my battery died halfway through that. All right, so this is my face after powdering. So I just used pencil number 7 on the right side of my face, where I did the base first and then the concealer. And I do think I prefer shade 7 on me compared to 9. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I do think it's doing a better job at concealing. And I'm doing this over powder and it's still going on beautifully. So I think this can be a great touch-up pen as well. You know, you finish the entire face of makeup and then you feel like, oh, you've done blush here, and then you have like one spot showing through. This will be great to quickly go and correct that spot. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because otherwise I'm gonna spend the entire day trying to pinpoint conceal. I'm just going to quickly add some color to my face and I will be right back. So as you can see from the demo portion, it can not only even out the skin tone, it can lift shadows, it can take care of discoloration, obviously depending on what shade of the pencil you use. It can obviously cover any acne or even older pitted skin like acne scarring. You could also potentially use it for highlighting little parts of your face, so maybe the arch of the brow or the center of your face if you wanted to do so with a lighter concealer. Or you can potentially also use it for a bronzing and contouring, but I think then it kind of dilutes away from the idea of pinpoint concealing. So that's the reason I didn't pick up a lighter shade or a deeper shade, if that makes sense. So hopefully from the video you can tell that it's literally like an eraser for me. Or if you were a photographer, you can think of it as a retouch tool. It literally takes away anything that's undesirable or anything that you want to, get rid of on your skin. Also, if you shop over £90, I believe, you get this beautiful olive colored little bag, which is, I think, vegan leather if I'm not wrong. Beautiful, and you can store all your pencils in here. Also, as you can see from the demo, you can apply it on bare skin, you can apply it on existing bases, so like on skin tints or foundations, or you can also apply it at the end of your makeup application on top of everything else. Say a spot is popping or showing through the makeup, so just do it at the last stage. In terms of wear time, I'm going to wear this for the rest of the day and add comments either in the description box or on the screen in terms of how well this wore. But yesterday I wore it for the rest of the day and I had 0 complaints. It stayed put the entire day. I think they put this on around 12:31 on me, and then later at night, I think I checked it around 9 or 10 p.m. and it was perfectly intact. Now, who's this concealer not for? I think especially if you have beautiful, perfect skin which does not need pinpoint concealing. I mean, this might not be the product for you. But otherwise, anybody who wants to address either discoloration, pigmentation, acne scarring, any of this melasma, I think this product is great. In conclusion, if you can't tell already, I'm absolutely in love with these pencils. I'm so glad that Lisa Eldridge finally launched with these pinpoint concealers and to have found great matches for my different skin concerns. So I have one where I can use it for when I don't wear foundation. I have another one where I can take care of discolorations or pigmentation on my skin. Third one for concealing anything when I have a skin tint or a foundation on my skin. So that's amazing. In terms of the skin tone range, I think you can find at least 1, if not more shades for different concerns that you may have on your skin. If you've also tried the correcting pencils, definitely leave it in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this new concealer. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and also hit the bell button for more beauty reviews. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!